Telegram. Telegram. Okay, no? Good afternoon, students. So, online students, please check your audio and video. This session is about the initial impression of the PSIR paper 1, which is related to UPSC CSE mains 2024. Okay, you all know that today, that is on 29th of October. Now the mains exams are going on, and in the mains exam already we are done with the paper 1 of the PSIR. Now in this video we are going to check about the paper 1 initial impression. Okay, how the paper 1 exam came and how the concepts which we learn in the classroom as well as the weekly exams, how those concepts reflected in the exam. Okay, so that you can understand how your learning is very closely related to the reality of the exam. That is the main purpose of this session. And if you have any doubts, you can put your doubts in the comment section. I'll clear your doubts. So this is the initial impression, and initial impression of the paper 2, that will be in the tomorrow class. Tomorrow class we are having the PSIR class from 7 to 9. That classroom will be in live in YouTube also. There we will discuss about the paper 2, because today paper 2 exam will be done by around 5:30 something like. So it is going to be very late. So we will discuss about paper 2 later. Now in paper 1, you all know that students, in paper 1 we are having the 1A and 2A. So 1A and 1B. In 1A we are having the political science, and 1B we are having the polity. Okay, that is the Indian polity or Indian government and politics. You can call it as IGP. So now let's see. This is the paper 1A. Let's see. So this is the question paper, and in this question paper carries 250 marks. You all know that all the options are having, like 500 marks, 2 papers. Each question paper carry 250 marks. Obviously, 3 hours of the time. And of course, this instruction you can check later. This question paper is already uploaded in our Telegram channel. You can check about that. Now let's see the questions. Okay, let's see the questions in section 1. In section 1, each question carry 10 marks. Okay, 10 marks, approximately 150 words. Like in our weekly test, 150 words means two pages. In one paper you are having the 2 pages here. 2 pages is all about the 150 words. So these questions you have to write 150 words. 5 questions they given, 10 into 5. This is about behavioral approach to political science. This is from the chapter number 1. Okay, so how you have to understand the political science. This is a very static question. Again, you don't need to update with any current affairs. Generally, people sometimes they will under the wrong impression that PSIR is all about the dynamic and all these things. Okay, paper 1A, nothing is dynamic, entirely static only. Now let's see. Second one, pluralistic theory of state. This is about the state. Theory of state and state. This is related to your unit number 2 and unit number 3. There we will discuss about the different types of states, okay, and monarchy, diarchy, different types of states we'll discuss. Next, Locke's view on the revolution. This is completely from the Western political thought. In Western political thought, we'll learn about the Aristotle, Plato, Machiavelli, Hobbes, Locke, Mill. These are the 6 people, and Marx, like Hannah Arendt and Gramsci. Total 9. Out of these, Locke. We discussed in the classroom, and also this question came from in our weekly test as well. What is the Locke's view on the revolution? We all know that Locke, he have seen the peaceful transition of the power in England. In England, during the Locke period of time, England changed from the monarchy to constitutional monarchy. Okay, the power shifted from the king to the constitutional monarchy. Whereas in the Hobbes time, there was a bloody revolution. Okay, that effect we discussed in the classroom. So this is pretty straightforward question. Next, decline of liberalism. This one I clearly explained in the Fukushima. Did you remember that? Decline of liberalism and end of the history. There we discussed about. In the end of the history, we discussed that so socialism declined. There will be only liberalism. Whereas in the decline of liberalism, we discussed about the after the classical liberalism, positive liberalism, neoliberalism. After that, some people were arguing that liberalism did not give the results, and there is a time for the socialism that in the recent times we discussed in the class. Next, linkage between the power and hegemony. This is related to the unit number 7. Okay, power, hegemony. Okay, now you see the students in the current affairs point of view also. China is trying to do the hegemony in the South China Sea, East China Sea. America is trying to do in the hegemony in the other parts of the world. Recently, Asia Power Index also came. Did you remember in the current affairs, Asia Power Index? According to the Asia Power Index, America is having high influence in the Asia region. Okay, so that is about the hegemony, power. So all this, if you look at these 5 questions, you will understand that once you are very good with the static concept, again you don't need to read. That's it. Okay, you have to do multiple revisions, and you can simply straight away write these answers. Okay, this is pretty straightforward. Second question. Okay, here these are the 20 markers. 20 and 15 2 markers. Okay, elucidate the meaning inherent in the term political with appropriate illustration. This is again static question. What is the meaning of political? For example, Aristotle said that politics is all about the public life. Politica is all about. Different people given the different impression that we will write here. Okay. Next, Marxism is a political theory of action demanding strict compliance with its core principles. Comment. This question recently we discussed in the ideologies. In the ideologies we discussed about the Marxism. Marxism is all about political theory of action. Action means what? People have to revolt. Okay, direct action, I told you that direct action means revolution, whereas passive resistance means non-violence. So how the Marxism here, the question, how you will approach this question, you will write what is Marxism and then what are the salient features of the Marxism. In our handouts also given what are the main assumptions of the Marxism. Marxism is always believing, so empowering the people and replacing the state, revolution, those headings you have to write. That's it. That is the answer here. Next, see, the nature of relationship between the equality of democratic citizenship and the liberty of citizenship is influenced by the economic equality. This is from the topic of equality. We will discuss in the upcoming chapters. So far, this batch, the batch number 3, you are not done with this topic equality. Otherwise, this is a pretty straightforward. This is asking about the how you will maintain the equality, economic equality and political equality. In our Indian polity also we have seen in preamble liberty, equality, fraternity, justice. In that equality, we discussed about political equality, social equality, economic equality. The question is about the political equality and economic equality. You will learn in the coming days. Next, question number 3. Question number 3. The debate on human rights is caught between the limitations of both universalism and cultural relativism. This topic is about the human rights issue. This is from the unit number 4 and unit number 5. We will discuss in the coming days. Next, again, the question from the democracy and what kind of challenges facing by the democratic institutions. That is from the topic of democracy. We will discuss. And this topic is about this topic. See here. Dharma Shastra presents a duty-centric worldview for individuals and communities. Comment. This question is straight away from the Dharma Shastra. In Indian political thought, we discussed about the Dharma Shastra, okay, and Buddhist tradition, okay, and Ardha Shastra we discussed. So here, simply from your handout, you have to write what is Dharma Shastra, what are the salient features of the Dharma Shastra. That's it. You have to write. Recently, I forwarded the entire Indian political thought PDF also. This question. So what I'm trying to say is this is a 15-marker question. See, by this, 3 more questions are this. By this, section A is done. Okay, now we'll see. So again, section A. Legitimacy add positive value to the political authority and obligations. This legitimacy topic, again, we are going to discuss from tomorrow onwards. Plato theory of forms. Okay, this we discussed in the topic of Plato. And Plato says about different, ignorance. Okay, how you will come out of the ignorance. And what are the different theory of forms, golden soul, okay, silver, copper. Did you remember that? The straightforward question, 15 marks, okay. Plato believed that whoever remembered in heaven, okay, so that will be if they remember so many things, that will be the golden one. Very less means silver, okay, then copper, okay, 3 types, okay, we discussed about this, straightforward. M.N. Roy, simply, recently, we discussed about this in weekly test also. M.N. Roy, radical humanism. Straightforward question. Now, so far your batch, you are done with the 3 chapters only. Indian political thought, Western political thought, and ideologies. I'm not talking about the old batches. From 3 chapters, how many marks came? We will see. M.N. Roy, 15 marks. Okay. And Plato, 15 marks. 30 marks. Okay. 30 marks. Okay. 30 marks. Okay. Dharma Shastra and Ardha Shastra. That one, how many marks that one? 15. Okay. 45 marks, okay, and Marxism about the 60 marks, 60, and decline of liberalism 5 marks, 65. Locke is about the 5 marks, 70. Okay, so okay, 10 marks. Sorry, okay, that means 90. Okay, so overall in section A, if you are master with the 3 chapters, that is the reason I am repetitively saying that Western political thought, Indian political thought, and ideologies. If you are very good with these topics, okay, out of 125, how many marks repeated? 90 marks. 125, okay. Total paper is about the 250. Out of that, obviously, 125 in the section A and 125 in the section B. Out of 125, you can see significantly 90 marks came from these 3 chapters only. So what I am trying to tell you is, be thorough with the static concept, whatever the notes I am giving to you. This is not at all dynamic. Once you are read, once forever, that's it. Once you read, you will easily answer the M.N. Roy, radical humanism, and Plato, theory of forms, 30, Dharma Shastra, 15, 35, and Marxism, 15, obviously. So 50. Then these are some other questions like 10 markers. So 70 to 80, and some remaining indirect questions. So These 3 chapters so far we discussed, and the old batch students, if you are very good with the revision of the entire notes, you will easily answer. So pretty much high number of the questions. That means paper 1A is very easy if you work hard in the classroom. Okay, all of you attended the classes regularly, so now you are seeing these questions very easily. Otherwise, if you don't understand, if you don't attend the classes regularly, these questions would have been very difficult like other people. Now let's see paper 1, I mean this 1B. Okay, even non-PSIR student also, they feel these questions are very related. See how related these are. First question, constitutional morality in the Indian Constitution. Constitutional morality means what? Constitution also talking about the moral things. For example, in the Indian Constitution, having the bigamy, okay, having 2 wives considered as a crime by the Indian laws. Nowhere mentioned in the Constitution, but that is morally wrong, having 2 wives according to the Hindu religion. In the same way, for example, if interfaith couple get married, okay, sometimes they will ask the police protection. Nowhere that is mentioned in the Constitution, but government is providing, because that is a moral value. Okay, so Indian Constitution not only talking about the constitutional values, it also talking about some moral values. We have to write this. This already appeared in the GS paper 2 also. Okay, GS paper 2, that exam will be written by everyone, all the optional students. And GS paper 2, paper 1B, more or less related only. See how the questions are related to you. Objective resolution of the Constituent Assembly. This is about the DPSP. Okay, DPSP previous form is about the objective resolution. Yes or no? That objective resolution we will discuss in the paper 1B again. Other optional students also, they can see how the questions are easy to tackle. Legal remedies in part 3 of the Constitution. What is the meaning of the legal remedies in the part 3? That is about the writs. Writs, you can go to writs. Supreme Court under Article 332 and High Court under Article 226. So that you have to write here. Then relevance of the MLCs, Legislative Council. I told you that how many states in India containing the bicameral legislature? 6 states are containing the bicameral legislature. In that, this question is about the legislative councils. Okay, what is the importance of the legislative councils? What is the importance? Obviously, when a law is made by the assembly, then obviously legislative council will check that law. It will review the law, whether that law is done by any like without any thinking or something, like they will wait. And in the same way, in the legislative councils, some people come from the like graduates, some people will come from the teachers, their representation will be there. Some experts will be nominated by the governor. Yes or no? That their representation will be there. That you have to write here. Next, women role in the anti-Iraq movement. This we will discuss. Anti-Iraq movement is against SARA. Okay, against liquor. Women, that in 1980s, 1990s, some women, they revolted against, and even in Dasara. Did you watch the Dasara movie? There, like NTR government, like it bans the alcohol. Then so many women also celebrated that after banning the alcohol, their lives also improved. So this we'll discuss in the political science, paper 1B. This is the social issue also, women role in the abolition of the liquor. Okay, since social issues also you might have come across in the sociology optional as well. Next, 6th question, how far do you agree that DPSP are more fundamental than the fundamental rights? This question is simply about the conflict between the DPSP and fundamental rights. Even I given in your notes also priority wise. First priority, which one will, second priority, third priority, fourth priority. Did you remember that? In notes also I given to you. So this question is about DPSP and fundamental right. Students, now you did not write the exam. That is the reason you read these topics lightly. If you would have write the mains exam today, you would have read all these topics and you would have attempted easily also. Okay. At least now you are seeing that these questions are somewhat you checked previously. These are familiar to you. Now you are seeing at least. Okay. Next, explain the structure and function of the National Commission for Women. Like here, you have to define what is a National Commission for Women and what the National Commission for Women is doing. That you have to write here. Okay. So this is only paper explanation, Vijay, not the regular classes. So paper explanation will be covered here. Okay. So this is about the National Commission for Women. This is generally important for all the rest of the students also. For rest of the students, this will be the GS paper 2 question. GS paper 2 question related to National Commission for Women. So far we are discussing the paper 1B. In paper 1B, questions are constitutional morality. This is related to GS2. Objective resolution, GS2. And legal remedy, writs, GS2. Everyone has to read. MLC, everyone has to read. This is the social issues in paper GS paper 1. Everyone has to read. This is about also DPSP fundamental right, how they are conflict related to everyone. That is what I'm trying to say, students. Your paper 1B and GS2 overlap. If you are very good, if you with the smart preparation, then your paper 1B will be done and GS paper 2 also will be done. Whenever we start the paper 1B, at that time I'll tell you the other students also, other optional students also, if you want to prepare well for your GS paper 2, then you can come and join with the paper 1B and paper 2B, so that your GS2 paper skills will be sharpened as well. Okay. Next is about the sixth C, the legacy. The legacy of Planning Commission still has a bearing on India's development policies. This is about the Planning Commission. So again, this question not only PSIR specific, even in your GS paper 3 also, planning and economy. See how related. So paper 1B, that is what I'm trying to say. Paper 1B, if you are very good with the paper 1B, means that knowledge will help you in economy, in polity, straight away, as well as in your Indian national movement also. Okay, that question might be, see here. Discuss the contribution of Dalit struggle to establish the egalitarianism in the Indian society during the freedom movement. Here, whatever in PSIR paper 1B, we will read PSIR, B.R. Ambedkar. Okay, this Dalit movement, how the impact egalitarianism. Egalitarianism is establishing everyone is equal. That is known as egalitarianism. In establishing the egalitarianism, how the Dalit struggles, Dalit movements are there. You know, like, so here we will write about the PSIR and other Dalit movements. Already in the West, in the Indian political thought, we read about the B.R. Ambedkar, annihilation of the caste. Okay, and B.R. Ambedkar suggested that caste can be demolished only by encouraging the inter-caste marriage, not just by eating the food. Okay, so this is also pretty straightforward. See here, the blueprint of Grama Swaraj is a key understand the Gandhian perspective. In the recent last week question, I asked you this question. The last week, Grama Swaraj and the principles of the Grama Swaraj. Critically assess the role of pressure groups. Again, pressure groups means what? NGO, charitable trust. In the recent gender studies paper 2, they asked one question on the charitable trust. Do you remember that? We discussed in the PSIR class also. Charitable trust. You all know that Mother Teresa NGO also, the funding was stopped by the FCRA. In India, all the NGOs are controlled by the FCRA, Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. Okay. So here we'll discuss about the NGO role in sociology also. You might have studied about the role of NGOs and all pressure groups. So we'll discuss about the role of pressure groups. For example, Narmada Bachao Andolan done by the Medha Patkar. Okay, she was able to change the government decision. Even Anna Hazare movement also started as a pressure group only. India against the corruption. India against corruption. Me Too movement also started as a pressure group. So pressure groups is all about other than government, okay, how they are imposing the pressure on the government, okay, how they are influencing the government, NGOs and all the pressure groups. Then next, 8th one, discuss the role of environmental movement in shaping the environmental governance in India. This environmental movement, again, pretty straightforward question. Here you will also write about the ecofeminism also, how the feminist ideas are in the environment. In the last Friday class, I given you notes. I told you to go through the ecofeminism. Did you remember that? Feminism role in the environment one. Here, environmental movement, pretty straightforward. Chipko movement and so many other movements are there. I given the notes also. I will give the notes also in future classes. Next, relative deprivation is a major source of ethnic conflict. This question from the social issue also. Ethnic conflicts. Why ethnic conflicts are coming up in India? This question is related to regionalism, communalism. You know now why the Nagas are fighting for the Naga Ilam. Okay, even Manipur tribes, they are fighting for the, like Manipur rights. In the Manipur, Meitei community and Kuki tribes, they are fighting. Yes or no? That's all about what? That's all about the deprivation. In the recent year also, Tripura declared as a insurgency free. Did you remember that? Okay, this question again we'll discuss. Okay, once you are done with the paper 1B, this question is related to GS paper 3 also, internal security. GS paper 3, internal security. Why ethnic conflicts are coming up in India? Especially Manipur violence. That's the reason this question came. Manipur violence. Meitei as well as this, like Kuki tribes. Next, Grama Sabha in the Panchayat Raj system is a forum which gives expression to the collective wisdom. This is again general polity students. GS paper 2 also important. PSIR paper 1B also very important. So if you look at the PSIR paper 1B, non-PSIR students also, everyone you will understand that PSIR paper 1B is a mix of the Indian polity, some elements of the Indian national movement, Indian economy and internal security. That is the reason if you are very good with the PSIR paper 1B means you are very good with the GS paper 2, some elements of the GS paper 1 and GS paper 3. So this is the, section B of the PSIR paper 1, whereas section A already we discussed, around 80 to 90 marks, only it covered from the 3 chapters: ideology, Western political thought, Indian political thought, and even, so for latecomers point of view, just I will tell you which questions we already covered for our benefit of students. This first, this 10 markers lock we covered already. Decline of liberalism we covered, this 20 marks, and then we covered Marxist 15, 35 marks. Then we covered about the, so 35 marks. Next this Dharma Shastra we covered in the recent past. So this is about 15 markers, 50, and Plato theory of forms 15, 65 marks, and M.N. Roy 65 marks. Okay, 15, around 80 marks we covered in this, from these 3 chapters only. So what I suggest you is, from Monday, tomorrow onwards, we will start about the legitimacy. Okay, so state, how the state is legitimate and all these things. From that legitimacy also, they ask one question. Okay, if that chapter also is done, means you will easily answer this question as well. Where is this linkage between the power and hegemony? We'll discuss in tomorrow class. Linkage between the power and hegemony we'll discuss in tomorrow class. And this week, okay, some of the mains students who wrote the mains exam, I'll ask them if they are available. Any one of the student will come to our class and he will also share their experiences. Okay, how their classroom learning helped and how they approached towards the exam. That also we'll discuss. If you have any FAQs, okay, if you have any common questions also, you can ask. Are we clear about this? So from this, what are the takeaway points? The takeaway points is paper 1A is not dynamic. It's a static one only. Once you are very good with the concept, once you are very good with the tests, then paper 1A is easy to tackle. You don't need any updates. Paper 1B is about, if you are very good with the 1B, means that knowledge will help you in the Indian polity. Their GS paper 2 answers will be improved, and history answers will be improved, and internal security answers also will be improved, along with the some economic planning and some economic concept. So paper 1B is dynamic, and if you are very good with the dynamic concept, some other papers also, your scores will be improved a lot. Other optional students, anyhow, they have to read individually. As a part of PSIR, you are reading here itself. Are we clear? So this is about the first impression of the PSIR paper 1A analysis. Okay, paper 1A analysis. Asha Devi, bilingual ani cheptamandi, no problem. Anti the so andarku ardham kavalani. Now I am explaining in the English. Okay, so obviously classes will be in bilingual. Don't worry. Okay. So in the North India, when the teachers are saying in the English and Hindi, obviously why should not we explain in the English and Telugu? Not an issue. Yes sir, no. Self-respect movement for language also should be there, not only for the caste and everything. Yeah. So classes will be in bilingual, Asha Devi. Not an issue. So if you have any FAQs, ask me. I have a doubt center adagandi. Next time after your mains exam, we'll discuss like this. Okay, 2025, 2026. Most of you will write mains in 2025, 2026. So again, this history will repeat, not the end of the history debate. Okay. So again, what I'm trying to tell you is cool and compose. Okay. So if you maintain the classes continuously, consistently, and if you attempt the exams consistently, then you will see how the question paper is easy. This question paper is not easy for everyone. As you already know these topics, you have a good command over these topics, you feel pretty much easy to you. But the other students, okay, who don't have a proper understanding, even they don't know about the Plato 3 forms, okay, and they may not write about the M.N. Roy radical humanism, okay, for them it will be very difficult. That is the reason in classroom, I am giving you enough time for understanding point of view, and you can go through the handouts. In handouts also, I am giving enough time so that you can go through the handouts. Please do whatever I am telling you. Maintain the consistency in the classroom. That's the only thing. And write the weekend exams. Weekend explanations also, we are giving explanation sheet. Now I will share with you regarding the explanation sheet. You can go through that explanation sheet. Yesterday exam was on the liberalism, yeah. So decline of the liberalism question came. Decline of the liberalism means how the liberalism declined. That means the criticism on the liberalism. We discussed about the criticism and the liberalism, even you can find in the handouts also. And we discussed detailedly about the 3 types of liberalism also. Almost all 5 classes we dedicated for the liberalism topic itself. So from ideologies, out of the liberalism, socialism, fascism, Marxism, and feminism, out of these all the ideologies, liberalism was the one which appeared. Next exam, it may be the fascism, it may be the socialism. So be thorough with your notes. Are we clear about this, guys? Online students, if you have any doubts, please ask me. Okay, with this we are done with the paper 1A explanation. Paper 2A explanation directly from tomorrow class live. Tomorrow classroom live will be there in the YouTube. So that paper 2A IR, how the questions are coming from IR, paper 1A, 2A, so 2A and 2B. And if you look at that IR questions, again GS paper 2, in the recent past 50 marks came from the IR. Did you remember that? How the Western countries are encouraging the India to counter the China, India and Central Asia relations. Okay, India and Central Asia relations. These questions came. So we will see how the 2A will help you in your regular IR. Okay, just follow whatever I'm telling to you. You will be in a very good regarding the PSIR preparation, GS2 and the rest of the areas. Okay, so that's it for today's initial impression, students. If you have any doubts, you can ask me again in tomorrow live class in between morning 7 to 9 a.m. Thank you so much.